Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be a bit of a rematch here between Calm and Ss1nz on Circuit Breakers, bottom right. We've got our blue Zerg player, it is Calm, and in the top right, we got Ss1nz. Alright, so RGB recommended this replay to me last week and said it is game 1 of the set where I cast game 2. A few months ago, and game 2 was an excellent epic PvZ here on Circuit Breakers, and he says this one is almost as good, but we will be the judge of that. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, maybe it's the same. Everybody has their opinions about how good a StarCraft 2 or StarCraft game is, and a StarCraft 2 game as well if you watch StarCraft 2. There's not much overlap between those two fan bases, but I cast both of them anyway. Alright, so here on Circuit Breakers, we've got a probe moving out the wrong way for scouting. Terry, scouting correct direction. Yes, I imagine it is fairly unsettling, floating over the unfathomable void of space. But that doesn't last too long. You're over land now, buddy. Well, constructed land anyway. Space station land. What the heck? Why did he check this? Did he go all the way in here? What? Checking for the Overlord, I think. Yes, checking for the Overlord, because if he was in the bottom left or top left and he scouted up or down, then the Overlord would be here. That is fairly smart, man. And because he didn't see that there, then he knows that Calm is here. Wow. 500 IQ move, man. I've never seen that done before. Maybe I have. Maybe I have, and I wasn't on top of my game there, because that was super, super smart. And I feel like you guys have seen that before, and you're just like, Falcon, that is a fairly common thing to do on this map. I think I have seen it before. Anywho, looks like it was an overpool build here. We got 6-lings coming out. We've got a Zealot moving out. No Forge. No defensive cannons. Zealot pressure is... It's more viable if it was a hatch first play. That's not what this is, friendo. Overlord's like, so, no Forge, no cannons, huh? Zealot, get back home. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. You can't wall this off with your own body. 2 Zealots are out now. Okay, so now there's 2 Zealots. And so the 6-ling couldn't even handle this on their own. But the bigger problem is there's 2 lings going to get inside your base. Wait, block off the ramp. Block off the ramp. Okay, let's block off the ramp with a Zealot and a probe here. Got to pull back to the ramp. Get on in. Get through. Oh, they both made it through. If this was Jaedong, that'd be it. This Protoss would just be dead. I don't care who it is. It could be Bisu. You get 2 lings inside the main base of a Protoss. They can't do anything about it until they get Dragoons out. Or make a cannon, and the lings are dumb and run into the cannon. And it's not... Okay, here's the thing. Are you going to be surprised by anything that you see in here? No. It's going to be a Stargate on the opening. You're going to make... oh, losing one of the lings there. You're going to make Corsairs, etc., etc., etc. Oh, I think these lings can get up here and mash on this wall a little bit. Yeah, you were just kind of hanging out a little bit. Third base coming up. Gold only. Or gold only. Minerals only. Those are not gold. Those are definitely blue minerals, Falcon. Come on, man. You got this thing. Hope everyone is having a good holiday season. We got the snow for the Christmas time, which is nice for the Salt Lake City area. The kids are very excited. We went sledding last week, and then on the same day, we also went to the No Way Home Spider-Man movie. I did make them watch the earlier films. I at least made them watch Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock, and then Amazing Spider-Man 1 with the Lizard, because those are the best. I think everybody generally agrees those are the best options of the first 2 sets of Spider-Mans from the early mid-2000s, right? Is Doc Ock and then the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Anyway, they watched those for appropriate Spider-Man context, and then we went and saw No Way Home, and they enjoyed it, and it was good. They enjoyed the memes especially, because, you know, there was a lot of memes from the, especially the Raimi Spider-Man. So this is a really early Zealot attack from Ss1nz. And I kind of love it. This might force... Is it going to force Sunkens? No, it's not going to force Sunkens. It's going to force a lot of Lings, man. Dead, dead, dead. Okay, that may have been making too many Lings for the problem. Because right there we go. Zealot pops out, holds the line. Just kidding. Bob the Zealot not holding the line. Oh, now he's holding the line. It's like, I was going to come out with the rest of the buddies. Oh, this one Zealot is just buying so much time. I mean, he's dead. You're going to get 0. This surround is harder than it should be there. Ling's cruising out, trying to see what they could do for harassment on the other side, but SINZ is like, it's good. We've got a cannon back here. We've got a Zealot holding the wall. We've got another cannon coming up. Probes are holding the top side. Are they holding the top? Yes, they are holding the top side. For a second there, they moved out. Oh, they were making room for a Zealot to block that off. Smart. Smart plays indeed. And then finally getting a Stargate in like 6 minutes. That was interesting. I mean, it is 34 to 25 workers, but at this point, map control belongs to the Zerg, so he should just be droning his face off, which he is. He's making 3 drones at a time, then 3 drones at a time, then 4 drones at a time. Also getting a Spire. I like it. I like it a lot. Extra gateway. Zerg player not doing anything interesting. Yeah, there's a macro hatch. I mean, look. Yes, you're getting Scourged to try to stay alive against the Corsairs. They don't just kill all your overlords and then you die because you're supply blocked into the ground. So I get it. But then are we going to go for what? Hydras? Probably. Lurker upgrade? Probably. And then just try to get to a hive as fast as possible, and then defilers, and then call it a day. I think that's what Column is working on here. I don't remember who won Column versus SINZ game... Well, game 1 on the channel, game 2 chronologically, which is very confusing. We'll just call it game 1 on the Falcon Paladin channel. Making a cannon to fall back to because there will be Scourge out dealing with this, obviously. Yeah, Corsair kind of poked in and then pulled back. Yeah, did it again. It's just, there we go. Now Scourge are popping. The Corsair was looking for that. And he was like, I don't know. How many Corsairs are we making? A bunch, it seems. Also getting +1 air weapons. Also getting a Templar Archives. A single Mutalisk. Did he just make a single? Is that by accident? Why would you make a single? Oh my gosh, it's not a single Mutalisk. No! God, Falcon. This is one of Falcon's pet peeves in all of Brood War, is when Zerg players try to go Mutos against Protoss. It just doesn't work. Historically, it doesn't work. You kind of have to win with this if you're gonna do it. You can't just damage the Protoss, you can't disrupt their economy, you can't just kill some pylons and some cannons, you have to kill them. Because if you don't, the Corsairs will eventually murder you into the ground because you're Mutalisks. And Corsairs were designed in a laboratory to murder you directly, especially when you're stacked up, because of the splash damage. Yeah, I don't... Guys, come on. Alright, well, my prediction for this game is that SINZ will win. I know we're at only at 8 minutes. I totally get that. But my goodness, I hate this so much. What? What? Yeah, like I said, these Mutas are just taking massive hits. Finally moving into Hydralisks. I support this move immensely. Also getting Lurker aspect would be good, but he doesn't have the money for that at all. So this is the problem. This is where the Zealots are like, well, if you spend that much money on Mutalisks, you can't possibly have Lurkers. So let's get in and murder your face. Yep, extra Sunken's coming in because he knows the Zealots are on the way. And the Hydras are not going to be super great here. Dude, that Sim City, though, oh, that's hot. How about the third base? What's your Sim City here? Pretty good, actually. 2 hatcheries and an evolution chamber covering this. That is a very nestled away Sunken. I like it. I like it very much. All right, so Mutiling Hydra. A strategy you don't see every day in ZVP. Cruising, actually making it across the map here to try to see what they can kill. But yeah, pushing back too far into these cannons is going to be a terrible idea, so they're just not going to do that. High Templar are out. Storm is on the way. Still no lurker aspects. So what is the... You doing drops? Are you worried about DTs? I like the 4th base timing here. It's a little bit later, but the Protoss doesn't have a 3rd yet, so 4-basing Zerg is going to feel pretty good. There's your lurker aspect. Okay, fine. So just a little bit later than I expected it. That is not a huge problem. And actually heading down. Is he trying to time this with Storm? Seems like possibly he is. Get out of there, Hydralisk. Ah, the Muta snipes are so good, though. Okay, all of the Mutalisks died. But my goodness, was that 3 High Templar that went down? That's probably a fair trade. Those are all very injured units. Those Mutalisks were. We're not making those anymore. Lurker aspect taking a while to come in. Zealots sneaking down. They're going to get this base. The Hydras are responding to this very well, though. Are there enough upgrades? +1 attack is nice. The Zealots have +1 as well, though, which makes them hit really hard. But man, suddenly the tide has turned and these Zealots are going to die. These Zealots are dead. These Zealots are dead. The 4th base is taking some damage, but it is very alive. These Zealots trying to come from the other side. We've got Zealot engagements on 2 separate locations right here, but the Hydras alone are managing to hold it. So this is great. I mean, that's what happens when you snipe 3 High Templar at the 10-minute mark, is suddenly your Hydras are way better than they naturally should have any right to be. This is... Okay, there's your Psionic Storm. Is there how much of that is there? Okay, alright, so 1 storm there, 1 storm there. No storms there, but these Hydras are just kind of hanging out, leaving these guys to die. Dart in! Look at how much of the army is chasing these 5 Hydralisks. Go! I mean, this is definitely my 2020 hindsight here. It's not really hindsight, it's a live action sight, because I can see it happening and they can't. I get that. Lurker just kind of burrows in the middle of everything and is like, I can kill all these Zealots by myself. Yeah, no, you cannot. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe coming through this bridge is really scary too. I get it. I totally understand that. It's 128 to 107 supply here. And Hydra's pressuring. Like, you know what? If we're just going to let me jump in here, that's fine, dude. High Templar. High Templar, High Templar, High Templar down. Okay, so all the High Templar outside of the wall are dead right now, which is amazing, but there's so much other Protoss, and I'm not sure how much that matters in the long run. A lot of Hydras getting obliterated just through sheer Dragoon Zealot play. That Lurker gets picked off with the first Observer of the day showing up, but look at Calm. He's been able to get up a massive economic advantage, 57 to 44 total Harvesters and Workers. 3rd base from Ss1nz here. Coming up, ASL 11. Champ Ss1nz. He has some goals, is what he's got. That's nice. It's nice to have some goals. So, this is Protoss being like, alright, I've left Zerg alone too long, and in fairness, I've been being pressured, so it's not entirely my fault. Overlords get a good view of what's going on down here at the cost of their own lives and supply blocking the Zerg, which is never great. Just, it's all Hydras all the time, y'all. At least we have good upgrades for them? Not really. Kind of working on, sure, +2 missile attack. That's nice. That's not bad. Corsair Ball is still alive. And kind of doing awesome things here, too. 2 kills, 5 kills, 1 kill, 3 kills. And you know, that's Scourge, that's Mutalisks, and that's Overlords. Those are good kills, all of them. That's not filling up on stuff like individual Zerglings. Like, Zealots can have like 8 kills, and then it's, you know, 4 Lings. You're just, or 8 Lings, right? Which is 4 sets of... The money cost is not as big of a deal here. To lose 8 Zerglings. My gosh, the supply block is real. More Scourge on the way, more Hydras on the way. I really don't like it when Protoss players kind of get stuck, or Zerg players get stuck on this kind of Hydra strategy. It can be pretty good. We've seen it win. We've seen it win in ASL, this mass Hydra Lurker thing, that even with splash damage, sometimes Protoss have a hard time dealing with it, but it doesn't feel good. Hive coming in from Calm at 15 minutes. Remember when I was like, we're trying to get there fast? He was not really trying to get there fast. He was more interested in making a ginormous Hydra Lurker army to defend his 4 bases. But look, 4th base warping in from Ss1nz now. And 5ths are a little bit hard to come by on this map for all races. 5th bases are far away. 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of naturally flows, right? Scourge. Oh, they connected on a single Corsair. That's a massive victory considering how many Dragoons are on the field here. That's amazing. +2 attack done for the Protoss units. Hydras are at +2 now. They're working on +1 Carapace and +1 melee attack. Ling upgrades can be amazing. Having a +1 with Adrenal is much different than having +0 with Adrenal. So I think that's the plan here. The Dragoon count is high enough that Lings are going to be a big part of the process. Obviously, we've talked about how good Zerglings are against Zealots, especially once they start getting their upgrades and especially once Adrenal is out. Zealots kind of own this stage of the game where they trade very favorably versus Zerglings. But once Lings get Adrenal, everything changes for them against everything they try to kill. Man, it's attacking in. Flank attack of Hydra's coming from the top side, though. Sniping High Templar, sacrificing their little Hydra bodies for that. And it's worth. I mean, how many Hydras are you willing to lose to kill a High Templar is the question of the day. And I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. There's your Defiler mound, and maybe trying to think about expanding down this way. There's a Zealot staring at the wall being like, no, there's nothing to stop you from expanding down here. I'm not visible whatsoever. And look, these Lings actually letting him live. He should be dead. Adrenal's not done, but that is enough Lings to kill that dude. That is, what, 6? Yeah, 6 Lings enough to kill a Zealot for sure. Expanding over this way too is Ss1nz. This is really, really good macro shenanigans here from both of these players. Suddenly, the Zerglings are out. But the 6 o'clock base, is that well defended enough? I kind of feel like it is. This is a pretty solid wall of Hydras and Sunkens. Storm is up, right side. Storm is down. Yep, Storm is down there too. Lurker's getting burrowed in to try to assist. Lurker does get picked out of the ground by Dragoons and Zealots because there's no Dark Swarm to save them from the Dragoons right now. But enough reinforcements come in to force back Ss1nz. He keep. Oh, I think. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. He is a. Man, absolutely scary High Templar R. You try to chase them down, you try to pick them off, and then they turn around and storm you in the face. But you know what? Like I said, killing High Templar are worth. There's a reason you try to focus down Defilers, too. Same reason. Spellcasters are sickeningly powerful in StarCraft, and every race has good access to them. Science Vessels being the foremost for Terran. EMPs are good, Irradiates are good. Detection is good from those Science Vessels, and there are none here, obviously. This is a pretty scrappy battle. These are situations where it's like, I think the Zerg player should have lost this a long time ago, but then the reinforcements keep pouring in because Hydras are fairly cheap, and Lings are really cheap, and Lings hammering onto your Dragoons means your Dragoons die. Oh my gosh, they are just crushing through this Goon army. But the good news for Ss1nz is that he's expanding over this way, which is nice, but the Zerg player being up at the 18-minute mark in supply is not great. Not enough energy, and therefore evaporated. Ling attack. Oh, Ling Lurker Hydra attack coming up to this left side where Ss1nz is trying to take that 5th base that I was talking about that is so hard to take. Calm doesn't even have his base yet, which is banana pants. Ah, probe transfer. No, worst probe transfer 2021. Quite possibly. Oh, that is not good. 12 o'clock base from Ss1nz alive. That's his saving grace right now. And Calm's going to take another minerals-only base here, which really tells us he's going to lean heavily on Lings, because he has 3 assimilators on 5 bases, which tells us his gas income is not great. So he's going to be making a lot of Zerglings, spending that gas on stuff like Plague, Consume, Upgrades, Defilers, there you go, and Lurkers like that. It's a little bit gas-starved right now, and I'm not sure how good that's going to be for Calm in the long run. Even supply at this stage of the game, not particularly great for the Zerg player, but let's see. His defense has been pretty good today. He hasn't lost a hatch today. All right, Defilers. Consume. Dark Snow, Plague, probably Plague situation coming up here. He needs more consumes. He's consuming drones. He's so desperate. And what does he cast? He's just, Plague-oo! All right, Plague-oo gets cast, but everybody dies here. And the third base is going to go down for Calm. And by that I mean Defender's Advantage kicking in for Calm really effectively. Storm just handling it, though, like an absolute pro. More Lings coming in, replacing his drone count as well as he can. But it certainly looks like Ss1nz is going to get this hatch. Yeah, macro hatch possibly too. Lings continuing to cruise in smaller numbers. It is 124 to 98 supply. Protoss has a big advantage right about now. It was too late, I think, maybe getting Defiler attack for Calm. Did not get Defilers in fast enough to not get that Dark Swarm or Plague available fast enough. And that's bad news. Dragoon's down. Big, huge Dragoon attack with detection. So goodbye, Lurkers. And Ss1nz looks like he's trying to close this thing out here at 21 minutes. Another hatch completely decimated and obliterated. +2 attack, +1 armor, +2/+2 for the Zerg. So better upgrades for the Zerg here. We've got replacing this, using these macro hatches to return units to Dragoons stutter stepping to within an inch of their lives, trying to hold on. 4 kills there, 3 kills there. 3 kills on that one too. If they paid for themselves, depends on what those kills were in general. But when Lings are mashing on your face, that gets extremely hard to deal with. Yeah, 2/2 Adrenal Lings are not nice. Really not nice in any matchup. Nobody likes to see those. Observer's going to make it home. No detection, no hiders in this location. Actually, detection, but no hiders. Whatevs. Calm taking this hatch would probably be worth it. What's he got? 300, 400, 300, 300, 500. Yeah. He's got enough money to make it worth it, but he's also like, well, it's not that much long distance mining. It's... I don't know. It's not going to be enough. Oh, this High Templar sniping. Dude, Calm has been doing a disgustingly good job today at killing High Templar. He's killed so many High Templar, but the High Templar have killed so much Zerg too. Oh, that Ling got distracted. High Templar survived. Lings Lurkers versus Zealots. Nice Plague on those Zealots. Makes them absolutely much more vulnerable to attacks from Zerglings and Hydras and stuff. This is scraptastic, man. This is not wrong from RJB. Yeah, RJB sent me the replay and was like, this is a good one. Oh, Corsair sniped. At the 6 o'clock. Lurkers burrowing in, storming it up. Zerglings in here. This is the battle for Calm's soul right now. Because Ss1nz doesn't have a 5th base. That's the big thing. If Ss1nz had a 5th base and he was doing this, he'd win this game easy. But as it stands, it is tight. It is tight for economic reasons, where Calm just has more workers and more available income than the Protoss does, despite the fact that the Protoss has a bigger army, and that is changing rapidly here. As more sets of Lings, more Lurkers coming in. Ss1nz is producing more Zealots and High Templar and Archons, but I think maybe Calm is going to be able to hold on here. Dude, these, oh my gosh, these High Templar assaults. He does get it turned into an Archon, but doesn't save it for long. Dude, has Calm held on? It has been one of the more, like, incredible defensive situations where he's lost hatcheries today. He's lost 2 hatcheries today and a ton of drones, but he's just been able to rebuild when he needs to. This DT wants to take that. He's not going to have. That's not happening for him at all. No. Not taking that down. There's nothing to kill down this way, so that's maybe a saving grace. There's just little groups of Zealots running around. I mean, Ss1nz really needs to take another base at this point. And Calm just has beautiful vision on every potential option. Well, I guess he could sneak something up here maybe, but it'd be hard to do. And suddenly the blue is just on the map. It's just covering it all. More Dragoons coming in, more High Templar coming in. I'm not sure that Dragoons are what we want here because of the number of Zealots that are, Lings that are being produced at the same time. Lurkers burrowing in. You can't storm all of us. Nice Plague-oo again. Beautiful Plagues, beautiful Storms. Both players using the spellcasters available to them to the utmost of their ability today. This has been great. This has been a really good TVP, as RJB recommended. Check him out at RJB TV on YouTube. Dude, Lings just eating Zerglings for dinner. Play catches, I think, 2 Zealots. Not the greatest one I've ever seen in my entire life. 21 Lings. 21 sets of Lings in production. I think is it. Is that 40 Lings he's got popping here? In the middle of matches, I always forget if that is sets. That is sets of Lings. So that's a lot of Zerglings. Storm's going to be the only friend that will save you here because the Zealots aren't going to trade super well, especially if they've been plagued, which by golly, look at that. They have been plagued today. Colm is retaking his 5th, and his 6th is rolling pretty happily. He's got 50 to 40 workers. Dude, Sins needs to take another base. I'm going to stop talking about it because you get it by now. But if he loses this game, it's because he never got a 5th. It's a 26, 30-minute game where he never got a 5th hatchery and that, or Nexus, and that will just kill you. That'll kill you just about every time. So going for Defiler Energy upgrade, which we don't see all the time from certain players in late game, but it's a good upgrade. Means you have to wait less time to make another Plague or another Dark Swarm. Nidus Network, first Nidus Canal of the day on the way. Interesting. Hasn't really wanted super fast reinforcements. All right, Sin says, this is it. We're going for it. Dark Swarm is up. The Lings are here. The Dragoon count is maybe too heavy. The Storm count is not high enough. There is a High Templar here with enough energy for a Storm. He does cast it. This guy's got, oh no, we're going to try to Archon here, but that we've seen that not go incredibly well today. And yes, the Archon gets exploded, and now it's just Dragoons, and the Plague happens, and it's 114 to 111 supply. And there is just, I don't see a path forward now for Sins to win this game. Dragoons are just getting blasted apart by these 3 attack Lings, cracklings on top of their bodies. Disgustingly good play here out of Colm. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this match thus far. Just a reminder, it helps the algorithm know that I'm here and recommends me to other StarCraft fans out there. And the more comments there are, the more different views we get in the comments, and the more the channel grows, and that's good for everyone, right? Yeah, this is a full surround on what's left of Sin's army here. It's not everything, but it represents a large portion of it. He's trying to stutter step out, but the Zealots are dying, the Plagues are just on point, and that's your GG. Colm is your winner in 27 minutes and 56 seconds. Yeah, that was pretty incredible. That was a really good PVZ. And yeah, RGB was right. It was a good PVZ. Pretty darn great PVZ, but not as good as the other one. I'm going to forget to put this in the description. So if you're watching this and you missed that first Colm versus Sins game, then you should absolutely let me know. Leave a comment saying, hey, Falcon, I need that. And then I'll put it in the description, and I'll respond to your comment directly with it too, okay? So let's remind Falcon to do that, because I'm not going to remember. This is posting like several days after I cast it. That's usually how this works, and that's why I forget. Anyway, yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that was just, there was no 5th. The 4 bases were nice. They were good. They were well-timed. He didn't lose any. I guess he did end up losing the 5th that one time. But he never lost his 4th, his 3rd, his natural, his main. He never got dropped. There were no drops today, which is a little bit weird for a 27-minute ZVP to result in a Zerg win where there's no drops. But it was just the sniping of the High Templar. Like, number 1 is no 5th base from Sins, and number 2 is sniping High Templar. High Templar did a ton of damage today. They were massacring Lings. They were taking down Lurkers and Hydras in droves, but not as much as they normally could, because there were so many nice target firing attacks on said High Templar, which are squishy and kind of hard to target because they're just a little tiny circle here. Not as, big circle for targeting, little circle for target. It's like trying to target an individual Zergling, basically. Not easy to do. And that was something that Colm did very well today. He did end up losing his 3rd hatchery, which he never replaced, and I can understand why. He lost his 5th hatchery too. 4th was well defended, which is important because this is a big source of income and easily defended. If you lose this, it means things are going pretty poorly for you the rest of the game. And then that hatch is bleeding. So that hatch died. This hatch is bleeding. This hatch is bleeding. This hatch died. I mean, it was a lot of aggression today, but Column, his macro was good. His defender's advantage kicked in when he needed it to over and over again. He didn't panic. He wasn't focusing on micro and forgetting to macro, right? He was continually producing units, and especially when he needed them at the last second, they were popping for him on defense. And he was just able to get enough Lings out, enough Hydras out, enough Lurkers out to defend and just barely hold on more than once there, and he gets the win. So that is tight victory for sure. End of the day there, 221,000 points from Ss1nz, 225 for Calm, very close indeed. Outproduced the Protoss player 8-3. It was a 6-2, so a 3-1 kill death ratio for Ss1nz there. But when you get outproduced 8-3, the math doesn't add up. Trust me on that one. I'm not good at math, but that does not work out at all. Barely any buildings died here today for both players, about even. And then resources, 62,000 resources spent to 55 for Ss1nz. So yeah, outspend your opponent by a full 7,000 resources in about 27 minutes. That math adds up too, and what we've seen from StarCraft all the times. So GG, well done there to Calm, and that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.